maybe I just want to get a job driving a tractor or something. I quite fancy that, you know, around in the field and a bit like Jeremy Clarkson, not have to worry about anything, just worry about how many horsepower your tractor's got. But I don't know, I just want to go home. Hello everyone, welcome to this video. This is the next video I'm doing on me fitting this kitchen. In the first video, if you watched it, thank you very much. We showed me getting all these units in, spaced out and leveled. Had an issue, which is basically when everything was built and all the wiring and first fix plumbing was put in, it was put into one plan. The plan's been very slightly altered, so it's caused a few issues. Namely, the main one was ended up having to get over a waste pipe and a water feed going behind an integrated dishwasher. Firstly, I thought we had a 50mm filler that end, which I could push the whole lot over, but then realised or was informed that the integrated fridge freezer door needs more than 90 degrees to open to get like salad drawers and stuff out. So basically I had to shove everything sort of back this way, all by a 10mm, which is allowed enough to get over those pipes. Anyway, that was all in the last video. Onwards and upwards, this is a new video. So what I'm going to start doing now is get all of these screwed together, final sort of level up there. So you can see there's a couple of feet there that we're missing. I've got those, put those on the end unit, get them all set in. What this guy does, this kitchen designer and company, they give me these, what they call appliance space. So you can see the space for an integrated washing machine here and an integrated dishwasher there. They actually give me, I don't know if they're here somewhere. Here they are, look. They're quite good. Oh, here we go. You see them? All these shelves, yeah. So what they do is they give me these, they're basically shelves, but they're 602mm wide. So although the cavity should be 600, we put them at 602, just gives us a little bit of extra space. And as you can see here, they're pocket screwed on the underside. So basically what we can do is just put them in like this. See, pocket screw them together, and it keeps those two cavities nicely spaced, but also keeps them nice and rigid in a straight line. Obviously, I'll put the pocket screws up underneath, and then the guys can even do the templating, and when it's all done, you can just unscrew them and drop them out. So let's get the radio on, get some tunes on, and get going. I think whoever's job it was in this kitchen manufacturing company to make these appliance spaces didn't have a very good day, because this one's supposed to be 602 and was 595. This one is again 595, but you can see the problem here is that they put the pocket holes in the front and the back, not in the sides. So that's only 520 across there. So I'm gonna have to get the pocket hole jig out and drill the pocket holes down the right side. I shall be feeding that back to the kitchen supplier. Right, that's got all of those screwed together, a final little level up, they're absolutely brilliant, all in exactly the right position. And what I've done, tabbed it sort of here and there. Like I said, this is a stud wall that I put in, so I know where the studs are. What I've done here, because we've got this is normally a 50mm gap, but it's a 60mm gap, just pocket hold a little bit of timber, fix it into the stud with a 4x50mm screw, and then a screw through the edge. Done that in a couple of places. Obviously, no fixings here because there's a dishwasher here. Can't put any fixings here because there's no back rail in this because it's got a sink unit in it. That you can see here, we've got a dropped top here. So just a couple of little sticky tabs on there. I've said this many times before, not that worried about putting those on, because when the worktop goes on, it's all sealed, it's absolutely not going anywhere. These appliance spaces are in here, so you see I've had to pocket hold, they were done in the wrong side, as I said, the wrong edge, so I pocket hold those. Two more spaces in those. Managed to get a little tab back into the stud there, and a tiny little sticky block there. 60mm filler panel. This is obviously just a sort of carcass filler panel. When we start working on the face material, you know, the doors type material, there'll obviously be a decorative corner post that will go in there. This is all in the right place, so hopefully the wall units are going to work, which I'm going to talk about in a second. And then yeah, just a couple of little tabs along here, 18mm gap here because we've got an end panel to go in there. Haven't fixed these all leveled up. I'll give them one final super duper double check, because I've said, I think many times before, you know, really important, especially where there's an integrated fridge, a fridge freezer, it's really important that you've got to get that exactly plumb and upright, otherwise you have all kinds of trouble trying to line up the doors. So what we're going to do now, as I'm confident the space between that wall and there is the corner wall unit's going to fit, and then those 3 units, and then obviously we're working our way along here. So on to the next kind of issue with, the next issue that I'm facing, and I think you can probably see it here if you're eagle-eyed. The next issue that I'm facing here is that when we were doing the stud work for this, the builder had a rough idea of the layout of the kitchen. So what I did is I put a row of noggins all the way along this wall for well, pretty much to here, I think. Quite a long way along anyway. Exactly the right height for standard height wall units. So of course what's happened, and you can even see here, look, the Sparky's put his lighting feeds in. So they would normally sit on top of the wall units, and then a little sort of draw wire or fish wire would come down the back and then be under pelmet lighting. Of course what's happened here is in between us putting those noggins in and the wiring in, obviously the builder's now decided that he wants to go for extra tall units. So I think they're, instead of 720 high, these wall units, I think they're 1200. So they go quite, almost to the ceiling. So the frustration of it is that when you take the extra time to put noggins in when you're first fixing, right, that's the sort of downside of planning ahead, as in you've got to put the effort in to do it. The payoff of that is when you come to fit the wall units and boom, there's a beautiful fixing on every single one of your wall brackets. So that's out the window in this case. So now what I've got to try and do, and I'm not quite sure how, is I've got to work out a way to fix these wall units to this wall, basically where there's nothing to fix to. There's a stud every 400, but that that's no way that's going to work out. So I don't know, I just want to go home. Perhaps more seriously, is how is the Sparky, you imagine, these wires are going to have to go, well, they're not going to go on top. The wall units will be the same height as the top of that unit there. So I don't know if there's enough length for these wires to come to the bottom. Maybe there is on that one, but I'm not quite sure on that one. And normally there's a junction box goes on top, goes on top of the unit that wire goes into. Then it would feed like an LED driver maybe, and then it's just a tiny sort of low voltage, almost bell wire that drops down the back of the wall unit to a nice neat little, undercovered light. So I don't think it's going to be possible to like join all that and underneath. So builder's on holiday, so I can't even talk to him about it, but I don't know whether those wires are going to have to come through the unit and we'll put little false back in or something, but I don't know. It's another little headache. I could just do that. But anyway, right, so, I've got to work out some kind of a plan, but let's get on with it. So that's all of those on, adjusted, fixed together, they're nice and level, and there's a nice 18mm gap down between the base units and the wall units and that tall unit, so that's great. So they all fit in a treat. And it's exactly, whatever it is, 320mm from the wall there to the face of this cupboard here. So that's the width of the depth of the wall cupboard. So that's great. So now it's back to the issue of fixing these cupboards on here. What I've got, I had a little word with a pal of mine who does a lot of kitchens, and he suggested these toggle fixings, which I actually got. He said they're very strong. Drill a 10mm hole, I've got this setting tool, flares them out. But my sort of, I don't doubt that, but you get a cupboard or two that's got all crockery and everything in it, that can weigh a lot. I'm not 100% happy to just maybe have those. So what I might do is a sort of hybrid system. I know I've got a row of noggins in sort of about this kind of level. So what I might do, these cupboards, if I show you one, where we've got one to go up, over here. I'll show you these cupboards. They've got you just see here, they've got an 18mm solid back and a 20mm void here. So what I may well do is rip some sort of 20mm wide timber, maybe 2x1 maybe, and fix it in at the level back down. It's about 180mm lower, because that's where my sort of noggins are. Use those toggle fixings whatever they're called, expanding fixings for these brackets, get it all adjusted up. And then what I could potentially do is just where the studs are, because I know where the studs are over here, I could then, if you imagine this was it, basically that 2x1, oh, can you see, that 2x1 noggin would sort of run, that 2x1 filler would packer, whatever you want to call it, would run across the back at kind of that level. And then what I could do, wherever there's a stud, I know where my studs are, wherever there's a stud, I could drill a hole in and put a hard fixing all the way through. Probably not ideal, but that's a bit of a hybrid system and definitely won't fall off the wall. So I don't know, I'll think about that a bit more. I mean, I trust my buddy what he says about these, but you know, last thing I want to do is for that to fall off the wall, because my name will be dirt. But anyway, that's the next job we've got to do. Believe it or not, I'd really struggle to get these to fit square. I think maybe the panel saw has been a tiny bit out. These solid backs are great on these units, they really are. You can take them out because they're pocket screwed and they're really solid, and we can do things like what I just spoke about. But if the beam saw is slightly out of the factory, obviously it'll throw that, it'll put whatever discrepancies in the panel, back panel, it'll put that onto the unit. So I think maybe they're all built within a tolerance, I know, but when you're trying to get, you know, near millimetre perfect, it can, if you get all of the tolerances add up in the wrong way, you can struggle to get, I just struggled to shut this little gap here. I was struggling to get it down to sort of 18 mil, it was close to 19 mil, which I know sounds mad, but I don't want that panel to have a gap there. So, but anyway, that's the next thing we've got to do. It's the end of this day, believe it or not, so I'll carry on with this lot tomorrow. Right, it's a new day. Let's get these units on this wall. Here we go. Has it got it? Is it hooked on? Yes. Voila, adjust that up when I've got the rest on. Right, I know I said that I was going to put an additional 2x1 brace around the back of these to a little bit of extra support, but fortunately I have managed to get one of those fixings in the stud there, so I don't need to do it on this one, probably do it on the next one and the next one over. Just, as I said, just a bit of belt and braces. Right, here we go. Mustn't forget that gap there. Because that's a higher unit than here, we've got an end panel coming down there, so obviously need to do that 19 mil there. Excellent, next one. I thought I'd just quickly show you what I was talking about, putting this little extra support in behind these units. That's about, well, I know that's about exactly where the row of noggins is that I put in to take the standard height wall units. So what I've done here, you see I've just got this bit of 20 mil timber. It's actually 250 mil down, marked 250 mil down, put a couple of tiny screws in there, and then what I can do, if I want, which I probably will, is I can just put a couple of fixings through. Nice, look at this lovely solid 18 mil back here, pocket screwed into the sides of the unit. So I think I could just put a couple of screws in there. It'll be super duper strong. Obviously, the only sort of downside is you're going to see the screws in here, but I could actually got some many different coloured wax. I could just wax that over so you never see that. It's a closed cupboard anyway, but it's still not nice to see screws in the back. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do with that. Just a little bit of extra security for me, because these toggle fixings are all right and they supposedly take quite a lot of weight, but I don't know. You can't beat a bit of screw straight into some wood. So yeah, let's get that one on now. Excellent. Right. Woo. That's that last one in. So obviously got a 80mm panel in there, so to mirror the other end. So yeah, happy they all line up. So I'm just going to level them, get them all screwed together, and that is thankfully all of the base units and wall units on. So excellent. So finally, that's all of the carcasses in, all the wall units, base units, and tool units. That's taken an insane amount of time to do that, but I'm happy they're all in. They're all exactly in the right position. All nicely levelled, fixed together, fixed back. So that is this phase of the kitchen complete. First fixed phase, what I call it. What I'm going to do now is have a tidy up and sort of reset, and probably not going to do any more today. It's probably halfway through the day, so I've got some other things I'm going to shoot off and do. When I come back, we'll be going to start fitting all of these end panels. We've got a scribe over here, end panels to all go on the walls here, on this either side of this wall unit, on the end of this unit here, and on this island unit we've got sort of these sort of rounded profiles that come around each corner. Then there's an end panel fits in those and then it returns round, so we've got all those to start fitting. I'm just going to double check to make sure the island's in the right place, which it is. But that is it for this video, the second part of this video, me first fixing out this kitchen. Not been as smooth as I'd have hoped, taken a ridiculous amount of long time, but sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles. So I hope you found the video interesting and maybe not shown me doing quite as much as I would normally do, but I have covered things, lots of things, first fixing kitchens in some of my other videos, so you can check those out on my channel. So there we go, that's the end of this one. I'll see you hopefully in the next video when we start putting these panels on. Thanks for watching.